behalf of California, don't go away, come back.
I have to go back to work.
No. Take a moment, breathe. I know that there are classic gifts that you give in retirement. Hopefully this doesn't mean that. This is a timepiece to ever hold the time and the life and the history of Fort Ross. It's to Father Alexander, Fort Ross, 2012, with deep gratitude.
Thank you.
He's done an amazing job putting this together. We know about the cemetery because of the work of individuals, and the people that live and work here, the academics, if you will, they have again taught us about this place. And I just want to say again, without their work, we wouldn't know what we know today. So I am now wanting to present to Dr. Lynn Goldstein recognition on behalf of California State Parks. Lynn, will you join us up here, please? When I met her, as she was scraping away the cemetery, and I thought, oh my gosh, what is she doing? And but she knew exactly what she was doing, and I will never forget the moment when the grave sites at the cemetery were found. And I want to read this. Professor and former chair of anthropology at Michigan State University in archaeology has published many articles and several books on the pre-contact Mississippian period in the U.S. eastern woodlands. The analysis and meaning of mortuary practices, quantitative research, methods, computer databases, and social networking, and ethics and public policy in anthropology. That's a lot. Coming to MSU in 1996, she was a professor at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Most recently, her work has included the historic archaeology of university campuses. Goldstein has served as editor of the international journal American Antiquity. She is a fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science and past chair of its anthropology section, former secretary of the Society of American Archaeology, member of the American Anthropological Association's Committee on Public Policy, former member of the Smithsonian Institute Repatriation Review Committee, fellow of the Society for Cultural Anthropology, and past president of the Midwest Archaeological Conference. Although many of her publications focus on the archaeology of the eastern United States, several look more generally at mortuary analysis and the ethics and archaeology. Goldstein has worked in California and Arizona on complex 19th century historic cemetery excavations. Her excavations in California focused on the cemetery at Fort Ross, the 19th century Russian settlement in Northern California, and her work in Arizona as an early historic cemetery in downtown Tucson. I just want to say that she's an amazing woman and has brought so much talent to Fort Ross. And again, on behalf of California State Parks, we want to gift you and acknowledge your work. As again, a timepiece, keeping the history alive forever. Thank you, Lynn.
I'm not going to give a speech, but I do want to thank all of you for being here. When we first started talking about digging the cemetery, it was 1989, end of 88, and everyone thought we were really crazy to do it, but because we had the support of so many people, and because initially everybody thought there were only 50 graves there, well, it turns out there's 150, but we loved doing the work, and we loved having the support of the parks and the community, and today makes all of what we did work so hard on for 3 years really very special and very meaningful. So I thank all of you.
Now I would just a show of gratitude to two women, again, that are very strong and very just amazing women in our community at Fort Ross with the Bicentennial and with the church and the Russian community. Zoya Gradov. Zoya. And Natalie, where are you? Natasha. She's done amazing. She and Zoya are core to this event, planning and prep, and all of the food, all of the planning, and again, Father Alexander, Zoya, and Natasha, as well as the clergy and the church. Again, state parks, it's not just a park, it's a place. And so, again, thank you for being here and being a part of this. And again, with gratitude to all of you for being here and having the passion of Fort Ross. And if you'd like to, I have to do this, I'm so sorry. Please join Facebook, Friends of Fort Ross. It's a good thing. You learn a lot. Thank you.
Ваше Преосвященство, Преосвященство, все наши замечательные духовенства, которые приехали, меня попросили на самом деле, чтобы я на английском, но я не могу не начать на русском языке. Также хотела сказать наши соотечественники, соработники, сотрудники, советники. Всем, конечно, спасибо. Те, кто меня не знает, я председатель Конгресса русских американцев, и с этим я перейду на английский язык, так как меня в любом случае просили, чтобы все начала я на английском. I could not start in Russian because to us this is Russian soil. And probably this is the closest thing that we who have been brought or born abroad and raised abroad, and we're very lucky to be here in California because we still have a piece of our motherland here near us. So I suspect that so many people walked here, Russians, and they spoke Russian and Spanish and Kashan, so I guess English is probably appropriate as well. Thank you, Robin. That was unexpected, but thank you. It's always been my pleasure to work with Fort Ross, and this is holy ground for us. I'm going to say that we have a very short program, and obviously the introductions probably were longer than the program itself. But we appreciate those that came out and are going to perform. And the first group is going to be Kazachok, and the artistic director is Margarita Dale. And they have a wonderful performance for you, and I hope you welcome them. They're going to have a short poem called «Что любится, чем дышится», and then «Уголок России». Afterwards, they do a costume change, and then we'll have just a little brief speech, but please welcome Kazachok.
Закрылась тишина кругом, я уголок России, мой добрый отчий дом. Стою, не глядя на часы, березкам шлю привет. Такой задумчивой красы другой на свете нет. Уголок России, отчий дом, где туманы синие за окном, где твои не вновь.